So, Jenna, we saw an image a moment ago. We'll put it back up on the screen. Sidney Powell, we like her around here. Newsmax, great attorney, helped out Michael Flynn in a big way. General Flynn, over the weekend, we saw that statement from you and Rudy Giuliani, who were standing behind Ms. Powell at that press conference last week, saying she's no longer on the team. Why did you put that out? It seems like, is there a problem or what's going on, please?
Yeah, so of course, Sydney's been a great friend of mine, and ultimately the legal team was kind of looking at two different directions, and like lawyers do, we all discuss the best legal theory to serve the client's best interests, and in this particular case, we want to make sure to preserve election integrity, and Sydney is very much focusing on Dominion voting systems, and that's going to be a much longer strategy, and that's going to be something that she's investigating, and right now we're Rudy and I and the other members of the legal team are focused is making these claims looking at the election official fraud. I mean, this is just astonishing, Greg, where you have these election officials that have just completely disregarded election law in their state. You have governors, you have election officials on the ground telling voters that when they come in, like a lot of good Republicans do on election day, they come in and are told, sorry, you already cast a mail-in ballot, so you can't vote, you can only vote provisionally. That is a two-tiered system of justice. You have these thousands and thousands of ballots, hundreds of thousands of ballots that are being counted in secret. You have naked ballots coming in where there's no security envelope with the ballot. I mean, you have so many different things and instances of voter intimidation. We have thousands of pages of witness affidavits on all of these different issues across 6 states. We are looking at that issue and focusing on that specifically because we do have a very narrow window here before December 14th, which is when the Electoral College votes, to make sure that we can get this strategy through. I think there are very significant questions on Dominion, why we have 28 states that have their voting systems. And I think that that's something that the legislature should contemplate. And I hope that Sydney is very successful in that work.
Okay, so again, Dominion, just to be clear, the Trump team is not pursuing that. If something comes your way, great, but your focus and everything is on the issues you just mentioned, yeah, not Dominion, because there were problems raised with Dominion even before the election by even left-wing media. It's just going to take, what, too long to establish, or it's too complicated as well?
A little bit of both. And, we even had Senators Klobuchar and Warren, who, of course, are Democrats and, no conservatives. They even expressed just last year problems that they had with Dominion. So I think that there are very significant questions that the American people deserve answers to, but that's just going to take a little more time. And so we are focused on behalf of the president and the campaign with the election official fraud. And so we have no intent at this time to put any of those claims in our current lawsuits, which, by the way, Greg, just to clarify, we only have 3 lawsuits at this time. So we'll be bringing a few others in the coming days. But for all of the peanut gallery Democrats and reporters out there, they're trying to attribute lawsuits that still deal with election integrity issues, and are brought by really well-meaning people. They're trying to attribute those to us when those are not on behalf of the campaign.
I saw a senator from North Dakota say yesterday that for the most part, you have not actually even had the opportunity to submit evidence. So they're getting a little bit carried away that the evidence is being laughed out of court. That's what we're hearing from much of the mainstream media. The evidence
hasn't even been in court, so it can't be laughed out. I mean, this is something that is ridiculous. If you look at the Pennsylvania District Court judge, there in the federal court in the Middle District of Pennsylvania, his opinion actually made a judgment on the merits of our evidence when he hasn't even seen it. I mean, that's remarkable for a judge to pretend that he has heard all of this and make a judgment on it when he hasn't seen it. So, that's something, again, we're in front of the Third Circuit to try to amend our complaint to move forward with that. And we hope that they will rule as expeditiously as they took up the appeal.
We all know that if the roles were reversed, the media would have an entirely different posture on this legal problem, and maybe the legal community would as well. This is, unfortunately, this is too lonely a fight for you. The establishment is not on your side, including a lot of Republicans, which I'm taking notes. I wonder if you are, or maybe you can't say, but I hope somebody is on your team, and I'm sure they are.
Well, I would just like to say that I hope that every American, regardless of what candidate or party or anyone that you support,